Hey everyone, welcome to episode 67. I'm sure I murdered that, but I did my best, of Scar Bears. And for those watching or those listening on the podcast, I just did sign language. You'll learn why in a minute. I'm Chris DT Gordon. It is fantastic to have you here with me today. And with me in a technological sense, if I can say that word correctly, are Nate and Britton Barron bringing their skills to my platform. If you want them to work their magic on your projects, just reach out to them at Nate Barron. So folks, we are in the middle of summer as you're listening to this, but school's coming up. And kids, while we've hopefully are at the tail end of this pandemic, they have issues they need to work through. They have struggles that might keep them from focusing on their schoolwork. And if my message of the attitude of gratitude tag can help them overcome their personal bacteria, please reach out to me at linktr.ee/Chris DT Gordon or chrisdtgordon@gmail.com. Let's work together so we can help our young people and our young adults pass on perfection and go for greatness. Well, folks, today I'm joined by someone very special, a new friend of mine, Christina C. Bunny Sarney. How are you, Christina?
Hey, how's it going today?
And that I'm really excited to talk about. First of all, we are both professional speakers. And secondly, we are both very talented physically. You have established yourself as an internationally known and acclaimed dancer, and I have never lost a limbo competition.
Okay.
So it's about the same. No, really. When you look at it.
Like me. So
yeah.
You got it.
So when did you start dancing, C Bunny?
So I started dancing when I was around 5 years old. The first time I saw Michael Jackson on the TV, he was doing Billie Jean and also the Michael Jackson Thriller video. I must have watched both of those performances over and over and over, except for the part when the werewolf came in. I always ran out. But I just got hooked to watching Michael Jackson, and I started imitating his move. I was imitating New Kids on the Block, and down the line, I figured being a dancer, it was just really my passion, being in front of people. Like I got involved with playing the drums. I was trying to act. Like I was trying to do all these little things. But being a dancer with my disability showed that dancing is what feelings look like. I don't have to communicate. I really, in some cases, don't need to hear. But what happened was in middle school, where I was bullied and isolated and felt invisible, I was known as a hearing impaired girl. I got called every word name in the book for the name that I heard. And I had a performance, and it was the first time that people saw me as something other than the hearing impaired girl. So I got hooked with performance since that day.
That's amazing. Now, yeah, going back, your hearing disability, you've had that all your life?
Yeah, so I was born with it. My parents, we did not find out till I was like 3 or 4. So I was born in 1985, and things were different back then. They didn't have the automatic testing for babies that were born to check their hearing. But what started to like draw up some questions was I had a fraternal twin sister, and she doesn't have a hearing problem, but you started to see the difference in our development. Like I wasn't responding. Like you would have thought I was extremely disobedient, but I just didn't really hear them clearly. Because I did hear some, and then we went for tests, and then the doctor laid the news that your daughter is severely hearing impaired. Since birth. There's nothing to do to fix it. There's no operation. I wear hearing aids in both ears. It's different than a cochlear implant because people be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry you don't have the cochlear implant." I'm like, no, like that's okay, because cochlear implant is like the hearing aid for deaf people. So what I have on for now is the best treatment for me.
Excellent. So how much of your hearing do you have in each ear?
I would have to say, I feel like I had 60% of my hearing, but I am completely, so here's the kicker. I am completely deaf on high pitched sound. So anything S CH, SH, all those high pitched sounds, I only hear part of the word. So it's kind of like playing that. To me, being hearing impaired, it's funny. There's an app on Instagram called Gibberish, and you have to read out the word. But it's like different words that make the sentence, and I can pass that like no other. So it's trying to figure out what you're saying, what it sounds like, and the context of the conversation it's in, and matching it up with lip reading. So
Oh, wow, yeah.
it's a lot of tools that I had to learn. It took me a long time to develop it.
Wow. And so, yeah, I can't imagine trying to put that all together as a kid. And then, oh, by the way, you have all the other kid stuff to do, like schoolwork and
Exactly.
sports and stuff.
Yeah.
And so when you discovered that love of dancing, when you found yourself, as you said, where did that take you? You know, you were in middle school when it started, right?
Yes. So in middle school, high school, I was very heavily into playing the percussion and drums. But I got bullied a lot from the band, the band director would make me run laps around the field because I didn't hear him. Like I went through severe bullying by
Wow.
teachers and students. Mind you, it's not all students and all teachers, but that was just my experience with them. But my first real take of being a performer, and this is where Steve Bunny comes from, was I was Bugs Bunny at Six Flags Great Adventure. So I was a costume character. And I just so I was in the Bugs Bunny Land show, I was in the parade, and because of that, I was able to be a character, and then I got to do stuff out of the costume, and then I got old enough to go to New York every day and take classes and audition.
Now what Six Flags were you performing
And
at?
New Jersey.
Okay, New Jersey.
Yeah, so we call it Great Adventure. That's a very short thing. But Steve Bunny is I was learning sign language. I was brushing up on it, and in the sign language community, you had name signs, and you had to develop one based on what you love to do. There was already another Christina in the room, so it's like, you know what, I'll just do my job, Bunny. And my mom used to call me Christina Bunny, so it just made sense. I was like, you know, it's Steve Bunny. And whenever I perform, people will be like, you know, you're completely different when you're on stage. Because I used to be extremely shy. Like, just making eye contact with you right now, that was a tough ordeal for me. And but as soon as I was on stage, everything's like, it's like putting on a hat or a mask. You're not seeing Christina, you're seeing Steve Bunny, the performer. So
You know, that's something else we have in common, because when I was in college, I worked for a public television station, and I would dress up as characters too, like Elmo and Cookie Monster. Did you ever get extremely hot in those costumes?
Oh, I was Daffy Duck on the street, and I blacked out. I went boom, and I blacked back in, and I just hear people like, Daffy, but there's a rule. You're not allowed to talk in the costume. And I'm just like, why? But yeah, it's hot, and you sweat a lot, and they don't get paid enough. I actually thought, like, one of my dreams, like, I wanted to like go to Disney and be like Mickey Mouse. Like, I wanted to be the best costume character ever. But the thing that bothered me about being in the costume is that it wasn't me that was getting the credit for the move behind the mask. And then at Great Adventure, I was cast in a show. It was 5 dancers and 5 drummers, and I was the only female drummer. And it's kind of like Stomp from on Broadway. It's just being in the hell out of garbage, and I just decided to let it all out. I was energetic. You see me jumping off the stage. I'm going into the audience, putting my hands to my ears. They don't know I can't hear them, but I'm making them cheer. And it's just, that's when I just fell in love with it. I'm like, I'm getting paid to do this and to do my passion. And when I get to meet with people after the show, they hear my story, and I just love giving them kind of a piece of hope. Like, you don't let anything stop you from your dream. Like, you can get there, but it's gonna take a lot of hard work. And that's what I'm sure you can relate to, that everybody has a big goal, but sometimes we just have to go a different journey to get to that goal. And
yes.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what the life experience is about. Is, no one had, even like you said, you have a twin sister, but you guys don't have the same lives. Everyone has their own journey.
Completely different. We love each other, but I joke around saying the only thing we have in common is our birthday. Like, we're completely different.
That's crazy. So, one of my messages is the attitude of gratitude, and tag right up there.
Yes.
And what I do is I ask people to think about something that they're grateful for. So, given your journey at this point where you're performing at Great Adventure, what is something you could look back that you were very grateful for, that you are thankful that you had in your life?
Ooh, ooh. I mean, what? Do we have to go back to like the beginning of my career?
Well,
or just general?
I guess you know what, I said it at the Great Adventure moment, but it could be for anything right now, I guess.
I mean, probably the first thing that comes to mind is the audition that I had for T-Pain, which I feel like auditioning for him and being hired to work for him, I think that's what kind of pushed start my career to be able to connect to people, because T-Pain is a Grammy Award winning artist. He's all over Twitch, all over Instagram. He was on Instagram with Mike Zuckerberg last night. I was laughing hysterically. But having I had a very special moment auditioning with him, and that was on camera. So I was able to kind of share my story with people about how I use my disability in my dancing to show him, hey, no matter what, I'm going to show you who I am, and I'm going to dance for you. And that was a very, very special moment in my life, because that was the dance I was born for.
That's definitely something to be thankful for. When did that occur?
It was in 2000. I know I look young. It was 2010, and so long story short, like he wanted to use real dancers. He didn't want to hire dancers from a company. So we had to submit a freestyle, like an improv dance, to a song that he chose, and then he ended up picking 20 of us throughout the country and flew us down to Miami to audition for him personally. But at the end of the day, too, he wanted us to freestyle to music that we never heard before, because he wrote it. It was not released. Now, that's a challenge for me, because we're in a garage, the sound is bouncing off everywhere, never heard the song before, don't know how to follow the beat, and I was nervous. And he said, but he said this inspirational thing. He said, I want you guys to step outside the box and create your own box and show me who you are. And that clicked with me. So I'm the last one to go up. The music is hidden, don't know what's going on. And I just felt the glory of God coming into me. This is what you need to do. So I start freestyling, and I go right up to him, and I take my hearing aid out and I put it on the desk where he's at. So now I hear some music, but I have no clarity of anything. And I go to the giant boombox and I put my ear to the boombox and I get the count. And all of a sudden, I just started freestyling, and somehow every move connects to every note. And in the corner of my eye, all the dancers are up on their feet. And that's unlikely at an audition, because we're all going for that 2 spots that is open. You don't want me to take your job. But we all hugged at the end, because we all realized we're all misfits, and we use dance to get us where we are today mentally. And then we're all on a line, and T-Pain called the 2 girl dancers, the spots are filled up. And I said, you know what, I had fun. And then all of a sudden he's like, yo, C-Bunny, get on up here. He created a spot just for me. So I'm very grateful for that. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So what became of that?
So I got to do a music video for the Step Up 3 soundtrack. It's a very notable dance movie. I got to do a couple of shows with him. Unfortunately, it was short-lived because and this is the entertainment industry. I got told we're gonna go on a worldwide tour with the Black Eyed Peas, and Australia with Neo and everything. And the day before the tour started, he had to cut half of us. Because we had to take a 45-minute show with all these people and slim it down to 20, and he just had to pick some people. So, but every step back is a setup for a comeback, because I wasn't on that tour, I got to audition and be on a show with Paula Abdul in front of 10 million people. So that's everything kind of happened for a reason.
Yeah, they say one door opens, or one door closes, another door opens.
Absolutely.
So what show was this that you were performing with Paula Abdul?
This was called, it was on CBS. It was called Live to Dance. It only lasted 1 season, but picture American Got Talent, American Idol, but just all dancing. And I did not advance to the Las Vegas round, but I did get a vote for Paula Abdul, and they did an amazing segment on me. So that led me to be able to share my story with people because I can show them the clip from being on TV. And the best thing that Paula Abdul ever said to me, this was off camera. She said, "Christina, just know next time, because I have a difficult hearing." She said, "It is your, just say stop. It is your right as a woman with a disability to have the proper accommodation or to hear what everybody's saying." And at that point in my life, everybody was telling me, "You're using your hearing impairment as an excuse. You're using it for attention." It's like, no, if I can't hear somebody and I want to sit in the front of the room, you shouldn't be yelling at me for that, thinking I'm using it for attention. I can't hear, you know. So very empowering. I'm very lucky to have these people share their inspirational thoughts with me, and I can pass that along to others.
That, I really appreciate your viewpoint of that. That you appreciate the people in your life, and actually that's the second part of tag is the acknowledge appreciated. And so, being able to think of the people who've helped you along the way is a step toward that greater level of success.
Yes.
Because we're not alone. We're not on an island. And so, after the Paula Abdul show, where did you go from there?
So then I had opportunity to speak at several schools. I did a disability parade. I was continuing to audition, but there was no job coming from it. And then I kind of focused on, like actually trying to make money to raise, trying to make money for a career as a personal trainer, as a massage therapist. I was still trying to figure out what I do, but I still love performing. And then I ended up being a bikini competitor for 1 year. And then as soon as right before I get up on stage for the bikini competition, I look at my coach. I'm like, "By the way, I'm going to sign up for a professional wrestling school, okay?" And they're like, "What?" And then I was a professional wrestler for a couple of years.
Okay, what league was this?
But what?
What league? What association?
I think it was forgive me, you understand why? The NCPAA.
Okay.
So the National Professional, yeah, I'm very bad at it. But with being a professional wrestler, I had a lot of concussions, so my memory is not the best. It's not fake as you think it is.
So what was your signature move?
Oh my God. So the rock elbow?
Yes.
Yeah, you better know the rock elbow. So boom, hit the person on the ground. And I had this move where I stand up by their head like the Rock does, and I use my hands to go like this. And that's what the great thing about wrestling is, because again, I get to be the Steve Bunny character. I am the hip hop, pop, lock, and elbow dropping, here and a pair wrestler as Steve Bunny. So I just do body language. When I do this, the crowd goes, "Oh," and then hit the rope. And before, and then when I get back to the person, I do a pop, lock, elbow, drop. So it's like the people's elbow, only I just add a little dancing and flair into it. And that's what's great, because people that wrestle me, I just want to have fun. So in the middle of the wrestling match, we'll have a dance contest, or if they have my wrist, I'll do a hip hop move and get it back. Like, I love the fact that everything I do is communicating with the audience using my body. And that's the challenging aspect for being a professional speaker, is because I had to, I do have a speech impediment. I have a lip. So since I can't hear the S's, it's hard to pronounce it. Trust me, I've done a lot of speech therapy. But that's the next challenge for me, because I had a lot of people making fun of my voice. I had people saying, "Oh, I could tell you're hearing impaired by the sound of your voice," which I think is the most rudest thing you could ever say to somebody. We live in America. We live in, a plethora of accents. Why do you need to point out what my voice sounds like? You sound different to me. I'm not gonna say, "Yeah, you sound different." But I'm looking forward to tackling that aspect, because every part of my performance is with my body, not my voice.
Even people who speak normally struggle with public speaking. And so the fact that you're able to do this and you have this disability, just speaks to your character.
Yeah.
What kind of audience do you want to reach out to?
Absolutely. Middle school and high school, because And I'm sure you, when you're writing your speech, you think about this, like, who am I speaking to? To me, I'm speaking to that fourth grade hearing impaired girl sitting by herself with nobody to talk to, nobody saying hi. And I didn't have anybody to look up to. And it's difficult being hearing impaired because it's not being deaf. So you have one foot in the deaf world, one foot in the hearing world. There was no hard of hearing celebrity. I didn't know if it was going to be okay. So I want to make sure I create awareness for that, and also educate people on. I don't think people understand the life altering effect it had when you bully somebody. So I plan to, when I speak to people in high school, I'm going to show them actual screenshots of trolls making fun of my voice, making fun of my hearing. And I want to tell them, how do I feel when I wake up in the morning and I look at my phone and it's saying, haha, you look like you're drool and you can't talk. Like, I really want to open people's eye to it. But definitely middle school and high school, I think they're the most vulnerable at the moment, especially with the accessibility with social media. Are you glad we did not grow up with social media?
Oh yes, I think of how I looked back in middle school.
Yes.
And there's a picture of me down in our basement. There's a collage that my mom made, and my kids think it's hilarious. I think that I'm fortunate I still don't live in the locker that I was stuck in when I was in middle school, because man, it was awful. But it's part of who we are.
Yes.
And I think that, again, your bravery to share that, those moments where you're being bullied as an adult,
yes,
is just mind-blowing. Especially, I hope it's mind-blowing to those people who are maybe ignorant, and I don't want to say that as a negative way, but they just don't know.
Not even and ignorant. It's a mix of the two. But yes, I tell people, I'm 35. I know it's like young. I'm 35 years old, but I've never been made fun of online more than my life. I had people my age cyber bullying me, and I'm like, what is going on here? Because everybody feels so comfortable behind the screen, and it's just like, I'm very transparent, so I'm going to say to your face. And it's interesting to see how people feel so empowered behind the screen and be like, I could say whatever I want and then go on with the rest of my day.
Yeah.
With us, we are human. So.
There is a new level of cowardice that the internet has created, unfortunately. But I'm hoping that, with your message, that you're able to break through that and hopefully break the cycle and help these kids realize that, no one's perfect. We're all going for greatness. We need to, instead of alienate people and bully people, come together so we can make this world as strong as it can be.
Yeah. And I think we've noticed, especially on social media, the same people that are saying we have to come together and we need to help each other are the same people putting others down. So we have to I feel like we have to open our eyes to people like that and understand, no, you're not doing any good. And then also, to pivot a little bit, I really want to show people that are special needs and don't fit in, that just because you feel this way about yourself now doesn't mean you don't have to feel like a rock star later in your life. Like, my attitude now is that I spent so many years being depressed and having anxiety that when I feel good, I want to enjoy it and I want to feel good as much as I can. And I want to have a lot of awesome moments. So when I look back on my life, it's going to overpower the evil. So for instance, I used to teach like a shared dance class at a nursing home, and I had to do the Alzheimer's unit. And it's amazing to me. They don't know what day it is, nothing. But as soon as I put Elvis Presley on, they know every single word. And that clicked to me that our mind can definitely be strong enough to overcome all the evil aspects of our life and remember the stuff that makes us feel good. So we gotta strive on that.
Yes, we have to really stick to our strengths and really hit upon those moments that, as you said, matter, that really we can connect with people on.
Yes. And it's not easy. Trust me. I spent many times saying, I turned the stuff that I did in the past as a negative. I'm like, yeah, like I was on Paula Abdul show, but I didn't make it past that round. Or I worked with T-Pain, but I didn't get to go that far. And finally, something just clicked. Like, enough. You like, this is awesome for you to look back on. And that's why I'm another grateful moment that I'm sharing with you is that somebody, sweetest man ever, Tom Wilton, he's a director. He filmed a documentary of my life, and he put every aspect of my life into this film. And when I watch it, that's when it finally clicked with me. And I did some pretty good stuff there, and I shouldn't stop.
No, definitely not. Where can we find that documentary, C Bunny?
All right, so the documentary is called Being C Bunny. It's available right on YouTube. Just type in Being C Bunny, or to go to my website, beingcbunny.com. It's available there as well. We won 2 film festival awards. One was for Best Short Documentary, and the other was for Most Inspirational. And that category really, I'm really blessed for, because they came up to me and they said, I hope you know, we didn't even have a Most Inspirational category, but once we watched the film, we had to make one. And it's insane, because they're watching my life, and when I'm watching at film festivals, it's like a big movie theater, and I don't watch the movie, I watch everybody, and I'm like, this is my life they're watching. It's not that nerve-wracking at all. But with the documentary, I hope people can watch it and see. It'll start off with my journey in middle school, and you can see how much I've grown to now. The funny part about the documentary, people are like, oh, you turned out so great, and I'm like, the story doesn't stop there. The struggle doesn't stop there. We all still feel pain and depression, and we go through our moments. So that's the one, like, oh, when people watch it, like, oh, you turned out so good. I'm like, I'm still fighting.
This butterfly is still breaking out of her cocoon. Hold on.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you can only fit so much in a 15-minute documentary, but I'm very, very blessed to have that film. And again, I could bring that into the schools, and it will always be online for anybody that's having a bad day. I'm glad that people can share it and just be like, hey, you can be good, especially in the hard of hearing and deaf community.
Yes, you could definitely do a hybrid presentation with that. You could, have them watch the video, and then, either pop up on Zoom, or maybe show up in an assembly or something. Yeah, there are many ways you could use that to really, give your story to someone else, to make them feel grateful and, move forward with their lives, hopefully using that as inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm definitely going to put the link to your website and to the video in our show notes, just so you know. And so, I know that COVID has really done a number on you with the mask mandate. And I know that you've struggled a little bit with that. We talked about that before we hit record. Do you mind sharing that, a little bit of that, so people understand what you're going through?
Yeah, so being hard of hearing, my main tool to survive in the hearing world is not only my hearing aid, but lip reading, and especially with lip reading and body language and facial expression. This is the key element for me to really understand every word you're saying. And then once the mask mandate was put in place, and again, no political opinion on it, I follow the rules regardless. I just noticed that I felt like I got hit in the head, and I lost even more hearing, and I had to learn how to cope with it. I couldn't read people's lips. The voices were muffling. Even when I wear a mask that says I'm hard of hearing, people still don't know what to do. Nobody wears clear masks. Like, I got a lot of people sending me links like, oh, check out this clear mask. And I'm actually like thinking in my head, well, did you buy one? Like, I don't need to wear a clear mask. I need you to wear a clear mask. I struggle with my job. I tried different positions. I ended up quitting. I got terminated from jobs. Like, I was gonna go to school. Like, it turned my entire world upside down, because I'm like, I don't want to live in this world where there's no accommodation for people with disabilities, and people are not getting that with and it's a gray area, but they're violating the American Disability Act. That is law. The mask mandate is not, but yet I want to protect you guys. I want to show you guys I'm protecting you, but I need you guys to meet us halfway. So that's just been a real struggle, and it's just sad that it's been a year now. That there really hasn't been any improvement on it because I feel like this is gonna be the new normal. And I ended up going viral on TikTok because I posted me having a panic attack at the grocery store because I couldn't communicate with people. And I had a lot of people like, just use a pen and paper, just write it down. And I'm like, you have to stay 6 feet apart. You can't share anything. Like, how did you do that? Like, I had a lot of ableists saying it's fine, it's easy. So it's just, I feel like there's not a lot of awareness and more so accommodation for people that are struggling with the mask. Why is it that you, and sorry to put you on the spot, but why is it that you get to put a mask on and you're fine, it doesn't affect you, but somebody who has a disability is already affected, has to be affected even more with no accommodation. So you see how there's not an equality aspect there?
Yeah.
Yes. But I try my best to, it's just sad because it's changed my personality a little bit. I feel like I'm very outgoing. I'm very obnoxious. Like, I always have a good time when I'm out. And now I dread going to the store. I dread trying to ask somebody a question. I feel stupid writing on the phone and going like this. Like, so, I mean, hopefully things will change. But anybody that's watching, please, I hope you have a clear mask on you. If you're comfortable and behind the plexiglass, if you could take your mask off, if you're comfortable with it for a couple of seconds, that would help us out. Just show kindness to us because we're sacrificing our needs for our disability to make sure we protect others.
Yeah, and I appreciate your willingness to protect others. And I feel sorry that, and I feel bad that you are, having to deal with the brunt of this.
Thank you.
Did you ever feel like reaching out to that with director Tom Felton? No, that's Draco Malfoy. What's the name of the director that you worked with for the documentary?
Tom Wilson. I was like,
Tom Wilson. Yeah.
I told him about all that. And it's sad that I just wish there was like a national, it was on the news to let everybody know if you encounter somebody that's struggling with the mask because of a disability, here's the A, B, and C of it. I contacted my government, my governor, everything, and there's no solution. And I'll even say, like, and I'm on the phone with the disability part of the government, and they're like, well, how do you get people to understand you? I'm like, well, they take their mask off, and they're like, good. I'm like, no, that's not good. They shouldn't take their mask off. So it's a tough situation for us, and it sounds sad, but once we are fine and the mask mandate can be lifted, I know I will definitely try, and you're gonna see it's like a lightning bolt, like the trigger of the gun and pull. I'm gonna be everywhere. Like, I'm gonna be like back in the limelight. I can't wait.
Well, I look forward to seeing you out there, Sea Bunny.
Thank you.
So, if people wanted to reach out to you for your speaking skills and to hear your story, I know we talked about the website, the documentary. Well, where else can they find you to reach out to you?
So I am on social media, Instagram, I'm SeaBunny2, no dash. Do you want to follow my silly videos on TikTok? That's being SeaBunny2. And Facebook, Christina SeaBunny, this is quotation, not bunny. SeaBunny, Tiny. And then obviously you can find me on my website, beingseabunny.com. That definitely have all my information on it.
Excellent. Well, before I ask my last question, I do want to thank you for sharing your story. It's been an awesome experience for me to talk with you and to hear all of your escapades so far, because I know you have a lot more to do. And I really appreciate how, while it is frustrating to have to deal with this, mask mandate, that you are still staying positive. And I think more than anything else, that willingness to put yourself back out there is a huge lesson that everyone can take. Because as we said before, life isn't perfect. Life sucks sometimes. You're going to get knocked down, but you need to get back up. You need to put on your happy pants, and you need to do the best you can do, not only for yourself, but for those around you.
Yes.
And so my last question, what is your favorite dinosaur?
Wait a minute. I think it's the T-Rex. I'm only for Jurassic Park. It's just the infinite, like the cup of water jiggling, and it's just like.
That is iconic.
The T-Rex in Jurassic Park become the good guy in the end. So I'm like, yeah, I got hope for you. You're good.
That's it. That is an underrated twist. I don't think.
I didn't realize that. I'm like, he's the good guy now.
Yeah.
That's why they look at him like, oh, you're not gonna kill us now? Okay, we're good now.
That I don't think enough people respect that. So that was a fun little twist at the end. Well,
I watch that movie way too much. I love it. It's great.
Yeah,
But that was a very good
seen
question. I hope to come on again in the future, and I hope there's another funny question that I can answer like that.
Well, I'll have to think of something, but I would love to have you back.
What's your favorite?
I like the Ankylosaurus.
What is that?
He is the one with the club tail.
Okay.
At the end, he's built like an end table. He's low and he's squat. He's got spikes on the sides of his shell, but he's got this awesome club tail.
Okay.
And so he's totally defense, but he's not one to mess with.
Okay.
So I like that. When I was little, I kind of thought of myself as him, until I tried swinging my tail and I fell down. It didn't go well.
Maybe with the T-Rex, I just tried to patch it.
Yeah. If you're happy and you know it.
Do you know why they call it a T-shirt? Because it's short arms like a T-Rex.
What's that?
You know why they call it a T-shirt?
What's that?
Short arms like a T-Rex.
Oh yeah.
Look that up.
There you go. Yeah. Well, C Bunny, it's been awesome talking with you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it.
God bless you. Yeah.
God bless you. Yep. And so, folks, remember to reach out to C Bunny at her different links, and you can watch the video Being C Bunny on YouTube. If you want to reach out to me, you can find me at linktr.ee/Chris DT Gordon. And also you can email me at chrisdtgordon@gmail.com. Please like, subscribe, rate, share, all those action verbs to get these messages out to people, because like C Bunny, I talk with so many inspirational people whose messages can change the world. So please help me do that. All right, folks, please have a great day, and remember to pass on perfection and go for greatness.